Hello everyone. Today I'm going to teach you how to use Google Forms to create any type of quiz that you want. Now here I have a pre-made one that I already sent out to my students. So let's get right into the action. Now you have 5 basic at your disposals in Google Forms. You can add a question, add a title and description, add a picture, add a video, or add a section. Now these tools are used throughout the Google Forms format so that you can make and shape your exam any way you want. Now here I have a few examples of what you can do. Now this part in here is the section header. And here you can add a title and a description for your quiz. Here is a simple question that you can easily add pressing this plus button. You can add this kind of question, what are, or something. You can make it so that it's a multiple choice question that will add the options that you can see on the screen. You can make it so that it's checkboxes so that your students can select multiple. A drop down menu, and you can write the options that your students can select. A file upload in case that you ask your students to bring a file into your exam so that they can upload it. A linear scale in case that you have a satisfaction type of question. You also have a multiple choice grid so that you can make a table kind of answer key. A checkbox grid that would be the same as the multiple choice grid, instead that here they can check more than one. A date kind of answers, time answers. You can also make the question to be required or not. In this case, since it's an identification question, it has to be required. You can duplicate the question or you can delete the question. In this section over here, you can show or not the description of a question. For example, here in this short answer type of question, your students are going to write a short answer for your question. Now, you can also make the response validation so that you can set the answer type to be a number, a text, a certain length, or a regular expression. You can make it, if it's a number, you get all of these options: greater than, or equal to, less than, etc. If it's a text, you can set it so that it contains, it doesn't contain, an email address or an URL option. If it's length, you can put out a maximum or a minimum character count. And if it's for a regular expression, you can set it so that it contains or doesn't contain, matches or doesn't match a certain pattern or a certain pattern of a question. Like for example, here on the date type of question, your students can add the month, day, or year that they were born, for example, or Now here's a picture that I added using the add image. You have quite a few ways to add a picture to your exam. For example, you can upload one, you can take a snapshot, you can use a URL of a picture that you know, you can use one of your albums from Google+, you can use one that's in your Google Drive, or you can search for one in Google. For the video, it's basically like the picture. You can either search it on YouTube or you can put up a URL so that Google Forms can pull it. You can also, in here, you can add sections so that your exam can have multiple sections. Like in this case, you can put a name for the section and add a description for said section. Now in here, as you can see, you can add a bunch of images. This is a multiple choice type of question. Here is what the option that your students have available. Here is a short answer text question. I said it so that it is a text that contains the word is because that's the right answer. Now, something interesting with Google Forms is that you can make it so that it's a quiz that is under settings. Now that we're in settings, we can talk about them. Now, in general, you can set it so that it collects the email address of anyone that answers your test. You can also send a response receipt so the students can see their answers. You can set it so that if they ask for it, they get it, or you can set it so that they always get it. You can also require anyone that answers your test to be signed into their Google account. You can also restrict it to certain people and restrict it to 1 response per person. You can also set it so that the respondents can edit after they submit their answers, and so that they can see a summary of their responses. Now in the presentation, you can select to show a progress bar or to shuffle the question order. You can also set a confirmation message once they submitted their answers. You can make the test a quiz, so that the students can see their grade immediately after they submit or later after you manually review it. You can also set it so that they can see the question that they answer wrong, the question that they answer correctly, and their point values. Now, since we already put it like a quiz, you can see that in here appears a thing that says total points. This is the total points that your exam is going to save. So for example, if you set it so that the total point count of your test is 20, then if a student gets 20, that's like an A or something. So in here you can set the answer key for the question. You can add a correct answer in here. For example, in this case it's is. We can also set it so that it marks all of the other answers incorrect. And also we can put a certain whatever amount of points that we want, let's say 50. And then it saves. As you can see, it adds 50 points. And for example, in here, you can set the answer key. You can select which option is the one that is correct. In this case, loves. Let's put it at this one. It's 100. As you can see, the score updates accordingly. And that's very much it. Now, since I've already sent this exam to some of my students and it was not a quiz type, I'm going to revert back that option so that we can see the results as they are. Now in here in the responses section, we can see basically in an individual way the answers of every and each one of your students, or we can set it in a summary so that we can see all of the responses from all of your students at once. As you can see, it gives you a pie graphics, charts, and all that good stuff. Now you can also, well, at last you can send it to your students via email, a link, embedded code. Here is the link option, via Google+, via Facebook, or via Twitter. Now I already sent it, as I said, so I'm not going to do that. Now we can also get a Google Sheets file that has all of the information that is powered in here, but of course in a Google Sheets type of thing. So as we can see in here, this is basically what Google Sheet does, that allows us to compare and see in this kind of format the answers from our students. So that's pretty much it. I hope that you enjoyed the video and see you next time.